Hello, everybody. Welcome to another MXGP live studio show, part of our At Home series with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland, where today's guest is the Monster Energy Yamaha factory MXGP rider, Arnaud Tonus, who is just over the border from where I am in Belgium, in Holland. We'll catch up with him in just a few moments. But Lisa, how are you? What have you been up to this week?
I'm good, thanks, Paul. Hello, everyone. I actually had quite a good week because the gyms reopened over here in Spain. So I actually went to the gym for the first time in about 4 months. But it was good, but a bit weird because you still have to wear a face mask in the gym when you're training, which was strange. Oh, and a lot of people have these like shields over their face, you know, the sort of face shields.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was weird.
Look like welding helmets or something like that, welding goggle mask.
Something like that. But I can't complain. I'm not going to complain. So they
No. And actually, the weather's not been too good there either, has it, this week in Spain? Bit of rain, bit of misery.
It's been awful. I don't know what's happened. It's not like it's June at all. It's been really miserable. No, I haven't seen any sun this week, Paul. But I know over where you are, it's been pretty nice, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's nice today as well. But anyway, should we get on with the show?
Yeah.
Weather watch with Paul and Lisa. Anyway, Arnaud Tonus, Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP. Welcome to our live virtual studio show from the comfort of your own home. How are you? What have you been up to?
I'm great. Thank you very much for having me on the show. I'm good at the moment. Happy to be back in Holland. I'm here since a few days and training back in the sand. It feels good for the mind, but the body is a bit suffering at the moment. So it will take a few days to adapt to those conditions again. But I'm happy to be back.
Yeah. When did you actually get back to base? Because you've been spending some time in Switzerland, haven't you?
Yeah, during the whole lockdown, I was in Switzerland. So I stayed. I stayed there the whole time, and I mean, I was mainly practicing physically. And I started riding like 3 weeks ago. So first my mechanic came down because it was pretty still luck with the border. So we really stayed in near my place and rode there for a little bit. And as soon as the border opened up again, we came back to Holland. So since Monday, I'm here.
Nice.
And also in the lockdown in Switzerland, was it quite nice to just kind of hang out with family and regroup as well?
Yeah, that was the positive part. We could spend time with the family. I was a lot to my parents, and in Switzerland was not a complete lockdown, so we could still move a little bit, do some cycling and stuff like that. So it was actually all right. Felt a little bit like a vacation, but the positive part, we could really move a bit. It was not like France where you really had to stay inside and. For us, it was a little bit more free. We just had to respect some rules and stuff like that, but we could still live all right, so it was okay.
Yeah.
Well, I say regroup because I know the first couple of GPs for you were pretty tough, weren't they?
Yes, they were really tough. I hurt my thumb just 2 weeks before the first GP, and I was not even sure how it was gonna feel on the bike because I didn't ride since the crash. And obviously I could make the race, but it was really true pain, and yeah, the results were not great. So I just had to survive those GPs, and I mean the positive part of the lockdown too was that I could recover and feel better. So now I'm happy about that. I feel pretty much 100%. So this is the good part.
How were the conditions at Matchley actually that day? Because obviously the first round of the championship in England at the end of February, I think we were lucky on race day.
Yeah, it was super lucky actually. I don't think anybody expected such good condition with, I mean, the time of the year it was in England. We know how the weather is usually there. But like you said, for race day, it was great condition. The track was perfect. We had some storm, but I mean overall it was really nice to ride, and that track can take some water. It was pretty amazing to see all the Saturday problems that we had with the storm and everything, and track on Sunday was close to perfect.
What about Valkenswaard? Obviously it's tough in England, but Valkenswaard could have been better. And I think part of the problem started in that first race when you and Paul Jonas clashed on that first lap. You'd made a fantastic start, like 4th or 5th. And actually, with the conditions being so heavy in Valkenswaard, that would have favoured you a lot more. The pace was slower because I think you were dealing with 1 or 2 problems.
Yeah, I was still dealing with the thumb injury. I didn't ride in between the two GPs. So, like you said, the rain maybe slowed down a little bit the pace, and also physically, it's a little bit easier, I would say. But then the track became in such condition that everything was gone. It was just super rutted and rough and raining at the same time, so it was just super difficult condition. And yeah, for myself, the first time was all right. Like you said, I crashed with Paul. Was a bit of a weird move from him. He came back from the outside and like kind of took my front wheel. So from there, I had to restart from way back, and I think I was top. I don't even remember the result, but it was around 15 or something, which was not where I wanted to be. But with all the circumstances, at least I put some points, and now I'm just looking forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Well, with all this time we've had off, have you managed to get back to 100% fitness? Because thumb injuries can be quite difficult to deal with, can't they?
Yeah, of course. So I made the decision after Valkenswaard to make an injection in it, because before that it was a little bit like in between. I was not sure if it was going to heal by itself or not. So after Valkenswaard we had some time off, and I did that injection. So it helped quite a lot to recover. And now, to be honest, it's very close to 100%. I just missed still a little bit of power, but the mobility and everything is fine. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Okay. And I guess when we do finally get back to racing, you'd want to replicate the kind of form that we saw from you last year. 5 podiums in 7 races, Arnaud. I mean, that was brilliant form from you, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course, it was pretty amazing to come back on that shape. I struggled a little bit the first few rounds, and then since Portugal, yeah, I was feeling really good physically and mentally too. I felt very free on the bike. The setup was working really good for me, and it kind of clicked from there. So of course, I'm gonna look forward to this kind of riding and have some good start and ride up front. That's the goal for sure.
Well, actually, last year was a fantastic season for Yamaha in terms of podiums, wasn't it? I think 21 in total across the 4 riders, you, Jeremy, Gauthier, and Romain Fevre. 10 of them came from your team, though, with you and Gauthier. So that was a pretty. I mean, I love that moment, actually, Portugal, when you made that first podium of the year, that run of 5. The biggest smile. I think we had you on the studio show a week later, didn't we? Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic for everybody involved. A lot of podiums, a lot of success in that respect.
Yeah, and I don't think it was expected in a way, because I came back from also a shoulder injury that was pretty severe. I had both surgery on both shoulder, and I'm also laughing about that because we see when I do that movement on the podium, I'm a bit limited with the extension, so I'm like giving it all, but my shoulder are not super stretched. So yeah, it was really a great series of podium for Yamaha and for myself, for the team. Also, Gauthier had great results, so it was just going really well for all of us, and it was a great time. Hope to get back to this year.
Actually, the funny thing about that is you're going, wrong shoulder, the other one.
Yeah, I forgot about the stiffness at that moment. I was so happy, so joyful, It makes it the tough time makes it appreciated even more.
Yeah.
So,
What pain?
Yeah, it was pretty funny, and I shake the drink and everything. I was like super happy. It was cool.
Well, last year you were at Wilbo, which is now the factory team. Just tell us, how different are the bikes this year compared to what they were last year?
We have quite a different engine. That's the biggest difference, I will say, for me this year. We had the chance that Jeremy kind of developed the bike during last season. He was already riding with the new bike, so they came up with a really a good setup, a great engine, a bit more power, and just more option to set up the way we wanted. That was probably what we missed last year. We had a good base, but we could not really go. I mean, get better than what we had. So this year we just have a lot more option, and we can play with electronics more, and just use the power wherever we want it. So that's really cool. And on the suspension side and the chassis, it's not so far from what I had last year. For sure, it's we did some testing and a little bit of improvement, but mainly it's pretty much what I had last year.
Okay.
Well, we've seen 2 videos so far, and I need to send out a warning now to all viewers, because this next video may contain scenes that will leave some fans orgasmic. Play the video, Christian. How much fun did you have riding this Rise 250 recently? Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, how much fun was that?
It was super fun. It was actually, I had this bike in Switzerland for a while, and I never really rode it because I always just ride the 450. But because of the lockdown, my mechanic wasn't there in the beginning, so I just jumped on it, and it was super fun. It just really bring me back to when I was a kid and just playing on a bike. It was not really about performing. It was really enjoying it, and it was really a cool reset to do this, because sometimes we forgot why we're doing the sport, and the fun was really the main part when I jumped on that 2-stroke. It was really cool.
And the sound was just phenomenal. Just listen to you come through those turns, full gas, hanging off the back. That thing just was singing.
Yeah, it really does. It's not going so much forward, actually. We used to so much horsepower with those 450 now, and it's cool also with that 2-stroke. You can just be a bit more wide open, and it's not going as fast. So for fun, it's really a perfect bike, and it's super light too. Like when I put it off the stand, I was like, really? Yeah. It just feels super light. So no, it's a perfect bike for having fun.
Yeah, and then obviously you jump back on the 450, and the thing much heavier on the stand, much more power. Did you notice it?
Yes, it's heavier on the stand, but you don't feel the weight as much when you're riding. Like the weight is really well balanced, and that bike is super stable and super nice to ride with. So in both ways, like it was fun to ride the 2-stroke, but when I jumped back on that 450, I realized how good my bike is, because you can push the limit so much more with the bike we have nowadays than I think what they had in the past.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Arnaud, we have a selection of pictures and videos for you now. Maybe you can explain to us what's going on in them and what they mean to you, okay?
Yes, okay.
All right. Well, the first one, where and when was this taken?
This was Geneva Supercross, probably around 2000. I was riding on 65, and we had like a kind of a demonstration. And it looks like I have a trophy, but it was not really a competition, so it's funny to see that. But I remember, yeah, it was really a great time, and we had so much support from the crowd, and it was really a good memory. I remember I was like singling the whole lap, because it was, yeah, pretty high jumps for 65, yeah. And at one spot I could make the doubles. I was waiting for the whole lap to get that double in. It was just good memories, yeah.
And is that Paul Malin interviewing you there as well?
A little bit like Paul in a younger age, yeah.
Come on.
Come on, spitting at
and maybe it's Lisa on the back too.
Yeah. We've been together for 20 years, Lisa.
Yeah, that's a family picture.
That one. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, next one. Next picture. This looks like an episode of Friends. The one where, what's going on here in this picture?
So it was a presentation of they made a big gala, actually. It was like in front of us at that moment, it was like 3,000 people. So we were presenting the new team and the new bikes on stage, and we were looking really classy. It's funny how Goki is standing on that podium.
Well, to me, it looks like he's kind of slipped one out the back door and kind of gone, oh, and you've kind of heard maybe and looked at him and say, did you just? He's trying to be all innocent.
That's possible, but it was definitely some jokes at that moment. I can't remember what we were saying, but it's definitely a funny part. Just before starting to speak, tried to release the pressure a little bit, but it was some good moment. Not
I think Goki released the pressure
this way.
Okay, next pick. Okay, just tell us, Arnaud, how is the mobile hair salon business going? Life after motocross, maybe? It looks like you've got a new career going on here.
Yeah, not myself, but maybe for my sister. Yeah. So this is my cousin on the back. My sister is taking care of my girlfriend's hair. And I was just on the way to Switzerland. We were going to the GP, and actually, yeah, I had a great weekend. I won the first moto, so it was just good memories. It's not really often that I have my sister and my cousin coming at a GP, so we just had a good time on the way. And
Cool.
I'm not sure how Murray's hair ended up on that one, but I don't think they were great.
Yeah. Hairdos on the move.
Yeah. Okay.
They couldn't do much with my hair at that time.
Next pick. Okay, you had 6 of these last year. Where was this one?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say Russia.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Brilliant.
It's a tough one, yeah. I remember
back
after that
track.
race, I had a small moment of frustration because I crashed trying to pass Tim. And then I think at that time I realized, oh, I'm still on the podium. It's great. But before that, I was a little bit frustrated. But it's actually cool to be on the box and have some frustration of not winning. It's not something I experienced a lot before.
How was the pain in that shoulder?
Oh, that's the right one. It's full extended. I tell you. The left one is a bit more stuck, but this one is okay. It can go.
Yeah.
Okay, next pick. Just tell us, when you put your headphones on, but you don't actually know how to wear them properly, talk us through what's going on here.
The music was so cool. I started to dance.
Mine,
this way.
I don't think are as technically advanced as yours. So, you know.
That's exactly what happened.
You can start a new trend here, Arnaud. Are you starting a new trend in the motocross
Yeah,
paddock,
maybe. I was just so excited with the rock music, it just dropped down. No, but this is actually an exercise to activate the brain, and they create a whole program around it that is pretty specific, and it doesn't look like that, but it's a pretty serious program that has been adapted to kind of activate your brain and have a better capacity of perception before the start.
And actually, we've seen you post the odd thing here and there on social where, you know, with the lights and the reaction thing, is that all part of that same process?
Yes, it's the same process. Yeah, exactly. The guy on the back is the man in charge of the whole program, and the lights and everything is, let's say, a small aspect, but all the rest I didn't see much because it's on a dark spot and it's hard to make films and good image about it. But yeah, it's really a program to develop the brain capacity.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Next up, we have a video for you, Arnaud. Not sure how many people saw this video, but it looks like quarantine life in your household was pretty fun. A lot's going on here as well.
So I was supposed to do a quarantine explanation of what I was doing, and I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, I'm just gonna do it like I'm doing it every day, like in real life. So I started the video.
There's lots to talk about here, actually, because, you know, cold shower, no shower gel. What are you protecting the environment, or is you just smell great all the time? Or
I tell you, when I do a cold shower, there is no shampoo. It's just to wake me up in the morning. And yeah, it's just
meditation here as well.
Yeah,
do you meditate
so that's
a lot
a big
then,
aspect
Arnaud?
of my life. Yeah, I'm meditating a lot, and it was a good time to meditate actually. Just staying home, not much to do. I could spend some times I have a special adapted place where I can meditate. Nobody's coming there, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
And then obviously throughout the video, I like the bell ring. Yoga over. How long have you been juggling, and how long have you been juggling on balancing balls? Because that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I started in America when I had Epstein-Barr. I was so tired at that time I couldn't do anything, and I thought juggling is something I was maybe able to do. So I started it with just watching videos on YouTube, trying to learn it. Took me a little bit, and then as soon as you get the movement, you can play around and do some different stuff. So I try to put it in my training routine and doing exercise with it. It's great for coordination.
Yeah, obviously you took up a little bit of cooking as well, and I like here how, you know, would you like some water with that flour? Because just the measuring skills were amazing here. Just guess, just keep going, keep going.
No,
Is that banana bread? Because everyone was cooking banana bread over the lockdown.
no, it's just a normal bread, but with special seeds and stuff. But I measured the water before. I put it on scales and I put the right amount of water. So I just had to put the powder in. It was pretty easy. But it was all meant. I tell you, the bread was good after that. I did a few during the lockdown and it was working well.
That is
That's the highlight of your day, isn't it? There, right there.
Yeah.
That's my moment. I was so pumped. But we had good music going on. I don't know if we can hear it on the.
No, I mean
you're
maybe.
having way too much fun with that bread, Arnaud. If you ask me personally, I don't know.
Yeah, but I like this as well. It's like, yeah, here's a guitar. It's my Yamaha guitar, but actually, I don't even know how to play it.
That might be really for the show because I'm not good at guitar at all.
No. Well, we have one sat in the corner. We're the same. None of us play it.
It looks really cool to have it in the house, but it's better when you can play it. I still need some practice.
Cool.
Brilliant. That was fantastic. Okay, we have some questions for you now as well, Arnaud, from Facebook. The first one is from Jacob Kane, and he says, how old were you when you realized you wanted to be a pro racer?
His name is Jacob, you said? I cut it.
Jacob Kane.
Okay, Jacob. Thanks for the question, Jacob. So I started to realize I wanted to do it. I think I was around 11. Like I started racing at 9, I think, and I was not great in the beginning. I had a lot of crashes. I was very nervous, and it took me a little bit to kind of calm down and being able to feel free at a race and have fun. Actually, in the beginning, it was a little bit tough. And around 11, I started to win some races and championship, and it just became like natural to me. I wanted to do this. It was really a part of my life, and yeah, if I could say something, it was really about perseverance because at the age of 14, I had to stop for a year because of a elbow injury. That was not even from a crash. It was just from growing up a little bit too fast, and I could not ride for a year and a half. And at this age, when everybody's progressing and you're moving pretty much from 85 to 125, it was really a big gap to recover from this. So I had some stuff to go through, but with perseverance and stuff, you can make it happen. So it was pretty cool.
Okay. Vincent MX523, why do you ride with the number 4?
So I wanted just a small number. I was looking for this when I came back from America, and not many were available. And I chose the 4 also because George Obey was my mentor years ago, and he was a lot were using the 4. He had a few different numbers, but 4 was a part of his career. So I thought it was also a cool reminder of him. He's been helping me a lot, and yeah, just love him. So it was cool to write that number too.
Okay. Cool. Mitch1 on Facebook, what sort of music do you listen to?
I listen to all kind of music. It can be rock music, rap, French rap, American rap, and sometimes we laugh a bit about it with my girlfriend because she can't understand me with my music playlist. Like it goes from every kind of style, and I'm really open with music. I can hear everything. At the moment, I listen a lot of country music and reggae music because my mechanic loves that kind of music, and he has his playlist when we go to practice, and every time I jump on that van, it's like really chill stuff and country music. So at the moment it's more that kind of music, but because I follow the flow, it's his playlist and I'm cool with it. I like it.
Actually, do you listen to music before a race down in the waiting zone or not, or before you go from the camper to the waiting zone?
I used to, but I don't anymore because I used to do this when we were prepping the gate. You know, we had quite some times to make our lines ready and stuff. But now I have a little bit of a different routine. I do a warm-up pretty close to the race, and I come straight to almost to the 2-minute sign, before we go for the sighting lap. So I don't have so much time to put the headphone on and listen to music, because I'm also pretty sweaty and stuff like that coming into the gate because of the warm-up. So yeah, I changed a little bit that routine.
Okay.
Okay. Next question is from Dead Hawkey. What advice would you give for someone who is aspiring to race in MXGP?
Like I said before, probably perseverance. Believe in your dream, and whatever is coming into you, take it as a gift to improve. Like I had a lot of time where I could give up, and I felt like it was super hard, and I even told myself like, okay, that's enough. But I really tried to take it as a learning curve, and be humble through every situation. And at the end, it turned over, and I had great success. So I think everything's possible.
Okay. Jake Young, he says, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Good question, Jake.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I would say Swiss raclette, but the problem when you eat that a lot, you're not going to be feeling great after a while. So I'll probably do that for a week and then need to switch. But this is definitely my favorite plate. Up in the mountains with a wood fire, having some Swiss cheese. It's the best for me.
Actually, I remember you asked when he was on the studio show one time, what was your favorite food or whatever, and he said, yeah, raclette. Don't know if you know it, and you were just like,
no, I
do.
My
God.
I know it because my other half is from France, kind of. He eats a lot of cheese. It's all soft, and you melt it, and then you put something on the burner, and it's really nice. But it's very calorific at the same time, isn't it? So you're gonna have to do a few extra hours.
Calorie in the mountains, so it's cool.
It's a good winter hearty food.
Exactly, yeah. It's made for the winter usually.
Yeah, I know it. I know these things. Okay, another question from Thea Grogilan on Facebook. What is your favorite track on the MXGP calendar?
I would say Argentina.
Ding.
I love Argentina. The jumps.
Not many people said that, actually.
Ding.
Really? Everybody's on Argentina?
Everybody pretty much Argentina, yeah.
Sorry, I haven't heard all the studio shows. So, but other than that, I like Matali for sure is a great one. And nowadays we have to be ready for any condition, so you have fun whatever's coming. But Argentina is just the overall thing, not only the track but the place. Also the crowd is pretty excited, so the whole energy is super there.
Yeah.
Okay. Erin Atchison said, who was your best mechanic?
Ooh, that's a tough question, Erin.
The current one.
To be very honest, I had great mechanics my whole career, and I could not pick one. It's the truth. Like I've been really, really lucky with all my mechanics. Had great memories also in America with Jan. He's from France, so I was really lucky to have him there. It felt like kind of a family atmosphere where it was so far from home. So it was great to have him there. Last year I had great memory with Dennis. He supported me through the tough time the year before where I was injured the whole year, and then we enjoyed this success together on the podiums for sixth time last year. So I cannot pick one. I had great mechanics my whole career, and I'm really thankful for all of them.
Cool.
Okay, brilliant. Well, that's it for the questions. Thank you, everyone, for sending those in to us.
And then that pretty much signals the end of our show then. So just one thing left to do. Arnaud Tonus, thanks for joining us today on our virtual studio show here on the MXGP Facebook page. Of course, if you're just joining us now, you can watch it a little later on today because it'll be up and running all day. But Lisa, thank you to you as well. And as always, thanks to our production crew over there in Italy, Christian and Gabriele. And of course, we will be back in a week's time, next Saturday. And so from myself and Lisa and Arnaud, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you very much. See you guys. Bye-bye.